Jessica at the Scott County Public Library in beautiful Georgetown, Kentucky. And we've got an Irish-themed show for you today in honor of St. Patrick's Day. We're doing our show on everything Irish. So, we're going to start with some excellent novels. I've got the novels of different genres. So, no matter what genre you like to read, there's probably something Irish in our library for you. We're going to start down here with one of my very favorite series. This book is called An Irish Country Village by Patrick Taylor. And it's the continuing adventures of Irish country doctor Fingal Flaherty O'Reilly and his assistant Dr. Barry Laverty in Ballybuckle, Northern Ireland. If you love reading James Herriot's All Creatures Great and Small, or you're really into the new series that they made on All Creatures Great and Small, you are absolutely going to love these books. The Irish Country Doctor series by Patrick Taylor, because basically it's very much like James Herriot, except instead of being veterinarians in Yorkshire, they are medical doctors, and they're in Northern Ireland. So definitely read these. They're full of charm and got eccentric characters that you will enjoy reading about. There's plenty of medical calamities, tricky social situations that they get themselves in, and in this particular book, add a small crisis when the local pub is threatened by a big-time developer, and you have the makings of a great story. So read this series for the wit, the warmth, and just a touch of blarney. Isn't that grand? Our next book today is called The Copper Beech by Maeve Binchy, and I like talking about her books because she just brims over with Irish feeling in her novels. In this one, the lives of 8 Sean Carrig villagers intersect in surprising ways. Read this book to find out who has a secret love, whose life is about to brim over with passion, and will newcomers to the village ever really fit in? Some people live in poverty, some with great wealth, but all lives cross like the names carved into the trunk of the local Copper Beech. So read this book, The Copper Beech by Maeve Binchy. Now we're moving on to a couple of books by Nora Roberts. Her Ireland is more along the lines of kind of a fantasy Hollywood type Ireland that maybe Americans probably like to think about. So it's not quite realistic, but it's got enough Irish spirit that you'll really enjoy it. If you like romance novels, you'll really love these. They've got a little touch of fantasy in some of them. This first one is the entire Irish-born trilogy by Nora Roberts. It includes the complete trilogy, Born in Fire, Born in Ice, and Born in Shame. So you get 3 books in one with this one. And in each of these novels, a heroine finds love in Ireland. Born in Fire brings gallery owner Rogan Sweeney to Megan Culcanan's studio. Her heart is inflamed by their instant attraction, but can she be healed by his love? And Born in Ice brings together Irish bed and breakfast owner Brianna Concannon and American mystery writer Grayson Thane, who has come to Ireland to spend the winter alone. But fate has other ideas. I think you can guess what those might be. And Born in Shame follows Shannon Bodine's journey to County Clare in Ireland when she discovers that her true father was Thomas Concannon. She meets more than her family. Could this be true love? You'll have to read the book to find out. Our next Nora Roberts book is book 1 of the Cousins O'Dwyer trilogy. It's called Dark Witch by Nora Roberts. And we have all 3 of that trilogy here at the library. It's about American-born Iona Sheehan, who travels to Ireland to meet the family she never knew, not knowing that she'll be creating a new home for herself with a perfect job, cousins who will become her best friends, and a hunky love interest too. Oh, and along the way, she will need to learn how to channel her own magic in order to defeat a dark power that has been targeting her family tree for generations. Dark Witch by Nora Roberts. Next we come to The Green Road by Anne Enright. This was the winner of the Man Booker Prize. It's about Rosaline, whose 4 adult children have scattered to the winds in far-flung locations, and they come home to the west of Ireland for one last Christmas before their mother sells the house they grew up in. And having grown apart during all those years of absence, the family must work to repair their relationships and to forge new ones. So The Green Road by Anne Enright. Next, we're moving to The Pull of the Stars by Emma Donoghue. This was one of my favorite ones. I couldn't put it down. Julia Power is a nurse in Dublin in 1918 in the midst of the flu epidemic. And her charges are expectant mothers who have come down with the dread disease. And remember, this is in 1918, and medical conditions were a lot different than they are now. Julia in the book is immune because she's had a mild case of the flu already, but other nurses are scarce. So she has to use all of her abilities, work overtime with little rest, and also she's caring for her brother who has returned shell-shocked from the Great War. So the novel gives a fascinating glimpse into medical practices of the day and includes one historical figure, Dr. Kathleen Lynn, who founded a children's hospital and tirelessly worked to help poor people at her free flu clinic. So The Pull of the Stars by Emma Donoghue. If you're more into like a thriller or suspense novel, you will really like The Searcher by Tana French. I couldn't put this one down either. This suspenseful novel follows Cal Hooper, who's a divorced and retired former Chicago police officer, as he acclimates to his new home, a dilapidated bungalow near a village in the west of Ireland that he purchased online on a whim. Friendly though the villagers are, Cal can't seem to shake his cop sense that someone has been keeping an eye on him in his house. He finds that the watchful eye belongs to a young boy named Trey, who wants Cal to find out what happened to his teenage older brother who disappeared without a trace some months before. Against his better judgment, Cal agrees to take on the case, but finds that the villagers he questions are being less than forthcoming with him. As Cal comes closer to the truth, his situation becomes more and more dangerous. And you will enjoy the plot twists that are in this book. And there's a little bit of kind of hinted at romance. So something for everybody in this suspenseful novel, The Searcher by Tana French. On to a mystery novel. I love historical mysteries. And Death of a Heretic by Peter Tremaine, great novel. I just loved it. I've read a lot of the novels in this series. It's the Sister Fidelma series. And this one, Death of a Heretic, is an historical mystery taking place in AD 672. Fidelma is a sister of the King of Cashel, and her husband, Edulf, investigate the murder of a foreign bishop, a cousin to the Frankish king, whose death has been staged to appear as an accident and which could cause serious financial and political problems for both Cashel and the abbey in which the bishop was staying. Turns out nobody had a kind word to say about the bishop. He was universally loathed, and almost everybody had a motive to kill him. If you are into historical detail and you love reading little tangents off to the side about why people are doing things the way that they are in the novel and about little historical tidbits, you will love this book. It's full of interesting tidbits of the religious and cultural history of Ireland and the squabbles between high-ranking officials of different religious and political viewpoints. And I'll let you in on a little secret about this novel's author a little bit later in our show. Death of a Heretic by Peter Tremaine. It's on the new bookshelf here at the Scott County Public Library. In addition to all of these wonderful novels, we've got all kinds of nonfiction books and DVDs and CDs. I'm just going to show you a selection of the Irish stuff that we have. Right here, this is one of my favorite books on ancient Ireland. It's called Ireland, Land of the Celts by Ian Zazik. And it's got beautiful pictures and a lot of history. You'll just love it. Also about ancient Ireland, The Sacred World of the Celts by Nigel Pennick. It covers spirituality and mythology. We've got Celtic Tree Magic by Danu Forrest. It's about Ogham lore and Druidic mysteries. The Druids. This is a classic book. I read it in college. It's by Peter Beresford Ellis, who is a noted scholar of ancient Celtic history. And I'll let you in on the little secret about Peter Tremaine's Death of a Heretic, the novel we were discussing earlier. Peter Tremaine is actually a pseudonym for Peter Beresford Ellis, who is the scholar that wrote this wonderful book. So that's where he gets all of his fascinating detail in his novels. It's because he is a noted scholar of the ancient Celtic world. So read this one too, The Druids by Peter Beresford Ellis. We've got The Illustrated History of Ireland by C.F. Cusack. Very interesting. Also, we've got lots of cookbooks. If you're planning on having a St. Patrick's Day party, you'll want to come and check out some of what we've got. We have got an Irish Country Cookbook by Patrick Taylor. He's the author of the book that I was telling you about back at the beginning of the show, the Irish Country Doctor series. He's written a whole cookbook about some of the foods that they talk about in his novels. So you definitely need to check this one out if you're into Irish cooking. Then we've got The Best of Irish Country Cooking by Nuala Cullen. Let me just show you a little bit of what is inside. Cherry mousse, you gotta wanna make that. It's just full of all kinds of tasty stuff you can make. Now we've got Irish Traditional Cooking by Darina Allen. Definitely want to check this one out. We've got Irish Pub Cooking, edited by the Love Food Group. Let me find something tasty in here. Blue cheese and walnut tartlet. Just check that out. Looks delicious. And we've got a tiny, tiny book called The Irish Granny's Pocket Farmhouse Kitchen by Fiona Biggs. Beef and Guinness pie. I'm getting hungry. All right, if you just want to armchair travel, you're not planning on visiting the Emerald Isle, but you just want to see it. Here you go. Over Ireland, a journey. You're flying over it like in a drone or in a helicopter, and it shows you all the beautiful scenery of Ireland. It's in our nonfiction DVD section, so check that one out. You just want a date night, but you want a good Irish-themed movie. The Quiet Man, starring John Wayne. That's a classic. Gotta see that one. And one of my favorites, Leap Year. It's about a woman who travels to Ireland deciding that she's going to propose to her boyfriend, but she lands on the wrong side of the island. So she hires this local guy to drive her to where her boyfriend's supposed to be, and some kind of romantic things happen along the way. So you gotta see this one, Leap Year. If you do want to visit Ireland, we've got travel books. Here you go, Frommer's Ireland. It tells you where to stay, what to visit. It's all here in this book. So come check it out at the Scott County Public Library. You want to set the mood with some Irish music? Here you go. We've got the Chieftains on CD and the High Kings and a bunch of other Irish stuff too. Just come in and check out and see what we've got. So if you're looking for that pot of gold at the end of your rainbow, you need to visit us because it's here at the Scott County Public Library. We've got all of the riches of knowledge that you could ask for right here at the Scott County Public Library. So that's it for our Irish show, and we'll see you again next time.